think that we shouldn't miss their expertise uh, in this NEP 2020. So, being an online course, I take this flexibility, and I really apologize that if inconvenience has caused to someone regarding the change in the timings. Tomorrow also, the lecture will start from 11:30. Because tomorrow's resource person, he will be busy in the afternoon session. So I hope that all of you will spare your valuable time for this NEP 2020 course. And before going to the resource person, already she has joined. A little request to all the participants, try to upload your documents, your nomination letter, your iCard, and your photo on the MMTT P portal. Without that, no certificate will be issued. Thanks a lot. So, on behalf of UGC Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar, I welcome today's resource person, Professor Dr. Mrs. Madhuri Deshpande, Senior Professor, School of Commerce and Management Science of SRTM University, Nanded. Also, she was the former Pro-Vice Chancellor of the same university. Indeed, it is really an honor and pleasure for all of us to have her here in this UGC Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center portal. Uh, and she will deliver a talk on holistic and multidisciplinary education. So, not taking much time, I would request our resource person, Dr. Madhuri Deshpande, ma'am, to enlighten us through his knowledge. Over to you, ma'am.
Good evening.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening. So sorry for inconvenience from our side. You were traveling today, but still we have insisted you to have a lecture. So we regret, and we hope that your valuable inputs will enlighten all of us, ma'am.
Sure. Because when it's an opportunity to interact with the teachers, I could not say no.
Yes.
That was the reason.
And even the several feedbacks we received from the past participants, we are very eager always to call you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, over to you,
My
ma'am.
pleasure. I extend a warm welcome to all the respectable teachers. Nice to connect with you online for NEP orientation and sensitization program, which is organized by Malaviya Mission Teacher Training Center, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar. Thanks, organizers, as I said just now, for giving me one more opportunity again to relook at NEP 2020, review its highlights, major features, rethink about it, and share the reflections with you, the teaching faculty. It is delightful to do that because it's wonderful to again remember the excitement and when NEP 2020 it was launched and all the features and highlights they were coming. Really, a long cherished education dream, it has come true in the form of NEP 2020. As we understand, education leads to economic as well as social progress. Well-defined kind of futuristic kind of education policy, it is very, very essential at school as well as at college level. NEP 2020, it was approved by our country, Union Cabinet of India on 29th of July 2020. Basically, it outlined the vision of India's education system. The new policy, it has replaced the previous education policy, National Policy on Education, NPE 1986. NEP 2020, that is a comprehensive kind of framework for elementary education to higher education as well as vocational training in both rural as well as urban areas. of our country. First time in Indian history, in the world history, we can say, education policy that is framed based on more than 33 crore inputs received from all the levels, literally the cross section of our society. Students, teachers, learners, professionals, consultants, parents, policy, uh, those who are interested in education policy, all such kinds of education lover, they contributed in their own way in making this draft of education policy. This is very truly the first Swadeshi policy of independent Bharat almost after 185 years. Now again, uh, I would like to talk about some features of ancient India, those glorious good old days before the enactment of Indian Education Act 1835 by British. Ancient Bharatiya education system, lakhs of gurukuls, they were working at their best. Names of just number of names, stalwarts, they just we just remember whenever we talk about those good old days. Gargi, Maitreyi, Sushrut, Charak, Tiruvallur, Patanjali, Panini, Nagarjun, Varahamirir, so many names. You take any discipline of human endeavor, any discipline of human knowledge, maybe astronomy, maybe yoga, maybe medicine, maybe economics. Ancient Bharat, it was shining with a galaxy of pioneers, stalwarts, scholars, with different innovations, with different inventions. They contributed a lot to the world. Scholars from all over the world, they were coming to visit our country so as to seek education. If they could not seek admission in the world known Nalanda, Takshashila, then there were numerous other gurukuls also in the vicinity. They might not be so popular, but resourceful enough so as to accommodate all the learners from uh, different parts of the world, so that they were working at their best, so that no aspirant would remain disappointed. Anyhow, whosoever has come to our country for the sake of seeking knowledge, for the sake of getting some kind of education, definitely would not be going back without seeking education from our country. That was the robust and a very effective kind of education system in our country. But after enactment of Indian Education Act 1835, deterioration started. And in due course of time, there was end of Gurukul system. Actually, there was never completely an end of Gurukul system. At present also, thousands of Gurukuls, they are functioning at their best. Bharatiya Shikshan Mandal and several other organizations, they are being busy with research on Gurukul system of ancient India. And they are striving for reviving the same spirit. They are striving to just regain the same status of our education system at this moment. Well, at this moment, we believe in the system of specialization, super specialization, super specialization, and like that. With more and more super specialization, we are moving back. I mean, we are moving away from holistic view of education, from integrated view of the situation. Whenever we are learning physics, exclusively we are learning physics only. Whenever we are learning chemistry, it is only chemistry. I mean, we are losing the connect with different disciplines of knowledge. And with that, definitely at this moment, again, before going further and before talking about the education system, the various aspects of this NEP 2020 in the light of holistic and multidisciplinary education, let me again tell you a few aspects of NEP 2020, and then we'll focus on today's topic. Again, it's very essential to relook regarding what basically education is. Number of interpretations and number of views, very interestingly, they have been expressed by various scholars, various practitioners from time to time. So, along with learning, relearning, unlearning, so definitely these are various aspects which every teacher has to be concerned with. As we understand, every teacher learns and every student teaches. Number of opportunities are there through which we learn a lot from the students. And there are number of opportunities in which we see at the personality of the learner, at the grasp level of the learner. We understand whatever are their expectations, whatever is their capability, whatever is their competency. So exclusively one-to-one kind of communication, but definitely that is the requirement in terms of holistic, integrated, and all-round development of the personality of a student. How is it possible? Nowadays, we are having different batches of intake. For many programs, there is an intake of 60, maybe 40, maybe 20. How is it with that? With so many responsibilities to honor, with so many tasks to be done with reference to teaching, with reference to research, with reference to interaction with industry, with reference to extension in the society. How is it that one-to-one dialogue could be maintained with the learners? Let us see how beautifully different features of NEP 2020, they give us number of guidelines so that on that basis, definitely we'll be able to reach to the learners and seek uh, the various objectives with reference to integrated and holistic development of the learners. Because at this moment, implementation of NEP 2020, it is in the hands of teachers only. Now, there is no intervention either by the government or any of the agencies. They have done their task beautifully. Very systematically and scientifically, they talked about different features of NEP 2020, and with that, they delivered the draft, they delivered the different highlights of this policy. Now, it is our task to give justice to the requirements. So, education is not preparation for life. Education is life itself. So, this view, I think that is very much beautiful. It is said that education widens the windows through which we glance at the world. So, whenever we are just having learning within the four walls of the classroom, definitely with that, we are supposed to give a glimpse of outside world also to the student. And that is not done on a mass scale. That is not done in a uniform and standardized kind of manner because each learner is unique. Capability is different. Background is different. Expectations are different. Priorities are different. Their dreams, they are different. How is it that with the same level of communication, with the same level of understanding, we are interacting with the learners? So definitely some kind of strategies, some kind of specific kind of styles, they must be established by every uh, teacher. And with that, we can give justice for the spirit of this NEP 2020. So again, as I said, number of beautiful views they have been posted by different professionals and different consultants and different intelligent kind of persons in our society. So with that, we have to appreciate basically what basically I'm required to do. How do I pursue the concept of education? How do I pursue my role as a teacher? How I can give justice with whatever views, whatever philosophies, with whatever experiences, whatever exposure I am having in the society. How with that I would be able to contribute to give my 100% to whatever I am doing at this moment. let us see few highlights of NEP 2020 and thereafter we'll touch our today's topic. NEP 2020 envisions an India-centric, it's very important, India-centric. This is, in the beginning I said, NEP 2020, this is the first Swadeshi policy of independent India. Swatantra Bharat, Swatantra, with having its own flavor, having its own independent kind of philosophy rooted in our soil. So that is what India-centric education system that is expected. So before going further, let me talk about the Gurukul system, and then you will be in a better position to appreciate various features of NEP 2020. And let us try to just understand how to coordinate and how to integrate our own styles, our own philosophy, our own academic leadership style, so that we can be able to implement NEP 2020 at its best. Uh, I heard, I just various references I have seen in which whatever perception I could gather about Gurukul system, I would be sharing that with you. Gurukul system basically uh, that gives an indication that simultaneously we are having a multidisciplinary view of the situation. Say one example I would like to put in front of you for understanding the essence of Gurukul system. Uh, Students, all the learners, they want to learn grapes. So how they would be learning about grapes? Everything: agriculture, chemistry, physics, economics, psychology, agriculture, marketing, transportation, warehousing, all such kinds of aspects. Whenever they are just having a visit in the farm of grapes. So definitely at that moment, they would be having an overview of the situation. What is the raw material requirement? How to seek the raw material? Who are the suppliers? Where it is available? What are the terms and conditions of getting that? Then comes the art and science of agriculture. How to seek the seeds, how to cultivate that, what kind of temperature is required, what kind of minerals, fertilizers, vitamins they are ready for the healthy growth of the grapes, the vineyard. Uh, Complete management of that is being involved. Then kind of soil required, how to test it, how to see that, what kind of water requirements are there, what kind of quality of soil that is required for producing grapes, what kind of climate that is helpful. So all such kinds of issues simultaneously with reference to a particular situation, with reference to a particular product, they are being taught to the learners. After finishing, just being the fruits being ready, at that point in time, how to store it, how to transport it, what are the requirements, what are the options available, how much, now costing of everything of it, for getting raw material, transportation, storage, cultivation, what kind of tasks they are performed, what kind of expenses they are involved, what kind of manpower requirement is there, how many persons they would be needed. So mathematical calculations of everything, definitely that is to be learned by the learners. Then after the fruits are ready for consumption, then directly sell it in the market or get the help of the middleman. What kind of middlemen are there available? What are their terms and conditions? So that angle also it comes into play. Literally, all the students, they are required to be in the farm fields. They are required to be in the market. They are required to be with different middlemen for learning about different aspects of this value chain, which begins with cultivation of the crops and which moves toward for the sake of handing the product to the ultimate customers. Then again, agro-based industries, again, that is one more requirement for learning. What kind of agro-based industries they can be developed? Where is the suitable, what are the different options being available? What kind of products they can be developed? What kind of industries they could be established? What kind of services they would be requiring? What kind of manpower talent would be required so as to give justice for all the activities and all the tasks of this value chain? So this is how. Then how to price the product, how to store it, how to transport it. What about the domestic marketing domain? What about international marketing? What are the requirements, means of transportation, means of storage, requirements of specific packaging requirements? In this manner, whenever you are taking a single product in your focus, different dimensions at different level, maybe it economics, maybe it refers with manpower management, let it be marketing management, let it be economics, let it be advertisement, all such kinds of aspects students they would be learning. No independent class of this subject and no timetable like we follow nowadays. So definitely no, we understand in today's fast world, again, requirements, they are of a different nature. So NEP 2020 talks about technology as well as it talks about value system. It talks about different disciplines of human knowledge. It touches all the aspects of the human dimension. It aspects, the different aspects like maybe value system, maybe personality of the student, maybe communication, soft skills, vocational training, theoretical understanding, practical kind of knowledge, having an interaction with the field at work. So internships and all that. So all such kinds of dimensions very beautifully, they have been associated, they have been seen to work in Gurukul system. So let us see now what is the vision of this NEP 2020. NEP 2020 visions an India-centric education system that contributes directly to transforming our education sustainably into an equitable and vibrant knowledge society by providing high-quality education to all. High-quality education to all. That is the ultimate requirement. For that purpose, how we are moving, what kind of action plan we should adopt. So everything is narrated under the highlights of this policy. Let us see what are the different, what is the concept of quality education regarding NEP 2020. Quality education, it must aim to develop individuals who are excellent, thoughtful, well-rounded, and creative. Creativity, lateral thinking, positive thinking, definitely they are having own role to play with reference to quality education. As we understand, there is a triangle as far as education is concerned. KSAs, knowledge, skills, and attitude. So knowledge, education is not only about sharing of knowledge. Education is not only about training the mindset. Education is not only about making an attitudinal change. Education is not only about developing some kind of skills. It is a compilation of all such kinds of different perspectives of the personality, different perspectives of an individual, which move towards developing an complete human being. A holistic approach, that is what we expect out of this quality education. So specialized area, it must enable a person to study one or more specialized areas of interest at an in-depth level and develop character, ethical and constitutional values, intellectual kind of curiosity, scientific temper, creativity, excuse me. हा हा बोला. हा नमस्कार. बरं. हो चालेल. मेल आयडी वर पाठवा. सध्या मी पाठवते. माझं एक सेशन चालू आहे ऑनलाईन. हो 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 तोच आहे तोच आहे. हो 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 हो. मी सेशन झाले की बोलते तुम्हाला. Sorry for the interruption. Well, we understand that ethical values, human values, development of the character, intellectual curiosity, scientific temper, creativity, service spirit, everything that is involved under this holistic and multidisciplinary kind of aspect of our NEP 2020, in which very freely every learner is given a free hand to seek knowledge, to be associated with sciences, social sciences, arts, humanities, languages, personal, technological, as well as vocational subjects. There is no demarcation that when you are studying art, you should not touch science. It is not like that. Whatever is your interest, number of opportunities they are given through this NEP 2020, in which, as per the requirement, as per the expectation and preferences of the student, definitely they would be touching different aspects uh, of their personality. This NEP 2020, it is built on the foundation pillars of access, equity, quality, affordability, and accountability. With that, uh, it is aligned with 2030 agenda for sustainable development, and basically it just aims to transform India into a vibrant knowledge society and global knowledge superpower by making school education as well as college education more holistic, more flexible, multidisciplinary, and basically suited with 21st century needs, which aimed at bringing out unique capabilities of each and every student. As per NEP 2020, holistic and multidisciplinary education, it aims to develop all capacities of human being: intellectual, aesthetics, social, physical, emotional, moral, and that too in an integrated and holistic manner. That is again the beautiful perception with reference to the task of a teacher to take into consideration what are the different capacities and capabilities of human being and give justice so as to flourish different aspects, different facets of the personality and the mindset. Let us see some principal guidelines of NEP 2020. Flexibility. A wide range of programs and subjects, academic, non-academic, as well as vocational, they are being offered to the students. And care is taken so that integrity and unity of knowledge that would be established. Now again, I put in front of you one view of understanding the Gurukul system. Then again, let us try to indicate several other aspects also of our ancient education system. And with that, let us try to understand how these guidelines and the main highlights of NEP 2020 we can be able to execute in the manner in which it is expected from us. Whenever we speak about the term education, basically it means, excuse me, हॅलो. हा माझं ना सेशन चालू आहे. मी झालं की कॉल करते बेटा. हा, हा, हा. पहा ना. So whenever we speak the word education, it goes unsaid that it is holistic, it is multidisciplinary, and it is giving justice for academic, non-academic, as well as vocational kind of aspects of education. It goes unsaid that we are giving justice for different disciplines like arts, humanities, languages, science, social sciences, professional, technical, as well as vocational disciplines. It goes unsaid. It is implied in the term itself. And from that angle, initially, I shared with you a few quotes of different eminent personalities with reference to what education basically is. So when we say education, there is no need to ask, just specifically talk about the holistic and multidisciplinary kind of aspect. It is imbibed in its nature itself. But still, in the light of NEP 2020, again, let us try to focus on various dimensions which talk about the integrated kind of development of the personality of the students in a manner in which the student would be able to help himself or herself, at the same time would be meeting the expectations of the family, would be contributed for the development of the community, and at the same time would be contributing for economic as well as national development. That is the spirit. Because, dear friends, what we observe, as I said, uh, when Indian Education Act 1835, it was launched at that time, the status of literacy in our country was almost to the extent of 100%. Many provinces of our country, they were completely literate at that time. But whenever uh, at the time of independence, there was complete deterioration. The literacy percentage, it dropped down drastically. But now, with the different new education policies, action or programs and all that, uh, in independent India, we have been trying our best so as to increase the literacy percentage, so as to educate the society. And with that, we see that we are having now very impressive kind of figure as far as literacy percentage is concerned. But tell me one thing. In spite of increase in literacy percentage, increase in the level of so-called education in our society, wrong practices in our society, did they reduce? Did they reduce? Was there a complete reduction, a drastic reduction in crime, in violence, in abuse, and various kinds of unethical and wrong practices in our society? Consider the aspect of women's safety. Are women safe in this so-called educated kind of society? Women, are they safe in their homes? Are they safe from their neighbors? Are they safe in bus, in train, in air? Are they safe in their offices? Then we are qualified. We have got a degree. We have got a postgraduate. We have completed a postgraduate program. We are technically qualified. We are professionally experienced. But with that, literally, as I said, I talk only about a single aspect of women's safety. Crime, percentage of crime. Did it decrease with that? Then why do we boast of educated society and so-called spread of education and all that? Value system. What has been done with value system? What has been done with various kinds of customs, traditions, and norms in our society? And definitely, whenever we are bothered about such kind of questions, definitely we have to see to it that education should be having that, it must be having that kind of responsibility so that a complete human being, it would be developed out of our education system, which is not the situation now. Whenever acid attack is there, when some person is abusing a woman in the society, all other they are the mere spectators. No one intervenes. No one has the courage. No one has the will. No one has the definitely having the courage to stop that. All such kinds of criminals, they are few in this. They are few in number. What about the majority who is having so-called consisting of good, nice, and educated individuals? Do they intervene? Do they do some courageous and just appreciable kind of task in stopping such kinds of wrong practices? If not, something is missing in our education system. Something is missing in our sanskars. Something is missing at the family level also. And with that, now with the principal guidelines of NEP 2020, let us see to it that we are able to develop a learner in such a manner that all aspects of the personality, they would be given entire justice. So that is what holistic and multidisciplinary education it conveys. Total equity and inclusion. Again, that is a very beautiful kind of feature of our education system. A respect for diversity and respect for local context in all curriculum, pedagogy, and policy. Basically, that is again a very uh, just remarkable kind of feature of our education system. Emphasis on conceptual understanding, creativity, critical thinking, ethics, human and constitutional values, life skills. Now, again, at your own level, try to think, I'm putting several kinds of concepts and several kinds of ideas in front of you. I'm just trying my best so that all such kinds of ideas, they would be integrated in such a manner that everyone would be developing our own style, so that all such kinds of aspect, whatever I do, whenever I go in the class, whenever I talk with my students, whenever I give some assignments, whenever I decide about my assessment criteria, whenever I'm just interact with the students, whenever I interact with my colleagues, what kind of model I'm setting in front of my students? What kind of attention I'm giving to the needs of slow learners as well as advanced learners as well as average learners? Do I make some kind of difference in interacting with slow learners and advanced learners? What are my strategies? What is my action plan to do that? Some kind of difference is there in the background of the students, family background, educational background, occupational background. Number of variations are there. What as a teacher I'm giving so as to address such kinds of diversity? Am I giving full justice for appreciating the varied and in different kinds of needs of my learners, of my students, and accordingly, am I making some kind of modification in my style of communication, in my way of teaching, in using my methodology, in giving attention to such kind of special needs? Now, whatever interaction I'm having until yet, near about more than 30 years, I have been associated with this teaching learning process. Number of opportunities I could seek so as to being a BOS member, being a referee of PhD, process of evaluation, maybe dealing with some having some kind of experience of academic leadership, maybe having some kind of stint with academic administration. So all such kinds of opportunities. So whenever I was offered the opportunity of being a finance and accounts officer, I took it. I accepted it only on the ground that it would be enriching a teacher in me. I thought whenever that kind of offer came to me, Honorable Vice Chancellor, when he has asked me whether I'm willing and interested in having the additional charge of finance and accounts officer, then I thought, immediately I said, yes, I'm ready. So never, that was my priority. Never, that was my dream. I was very much happy, and at present also, I considered the role of a teacher I consider myself privileged to be a teacher. But in spite of that, when spontaneously when I responded to the offer and when I accepted that, I was also surprised and I was also amazed to appreciate it. How is it that without thinking, I said yes. But anyhow, maybe consciously and deliberately, I may not have thought about that kind of opportunity, but definitely it was in my mind. I mean, at subconscious level, it was in my mind so as to be an excellent teacher, so as to be a perfect kind of teacher. So when, as a teacher of management, as a teacher of commerce, I was interacting with my students, then at some point in time, I used to wonder, am I perfect for being a teacher? Whatever technically, I was MBA as well as I was MCOM. I was having some kind of exposure regarding computer education also. So I completed diploma in for information technology, MSc also I did several again short modules just given by Aptech also. Those also I have finished. But even at times I used to think that as a teacher, whatever skill set I'm having, whatever education background as I'm having, whatever exposure with the industry I'm having, is it sufficient? Is it adequate for me? Do I require to do something else so as to be an excellent teacher? And then I found that I was a consultant with Nirlev brand, management consultant before joining uh, at Nantir campus of Swami Ramanand Tirth Marathwada University. But when I joined as a teacher, thereafter, officially and systematically, I never had an adequate time available with me for having a connect with different stakeholders. At times, I used to get that opportunity, maybe attending conferences, maybe having an interaction with outside universities with NAC, peer team as a NAC peer team member, maybe as a BOS member, maybe as PhD referee. Number of interactions were there for taking student to the industrial visit, for calling the industrialist regarding interactions, campus interviews, maybe for guest lectures. So number of opportunities I was exploiting. I mean, in the positive sense of the word, of course. But anyhow, then at that point, I felt that full-time practice of management I missed. That's what I used to think at times. I'm having interaction only at a superficial level. That's what my orient. I mean, I'm not criticizing anyone. My own reflections, very honestly, I'm sharing with you. And whenever continuously and constantly I'm having such kind of questions in my mind, and when Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Nimse, he just offered me the opportunity to be a finance and accounts officer, I took it as a chance so as to be familiar with top level administration, to learn management practice, to know how the corporate practices they are carried on. So I said in my own campus, uh, in case I'm getting the opportunity of having corporate exposure, why I should avoid that? So it was not directly, but whenever I tried to analyze regarding how immediately I said yes, then I realized that it was at subconscious and maybe unconscious kind of level. It was going on every day. I was thinking about that every moment. I'm just trying to make an effort so as to get more and more excellence and perfection feature to my job, and then I accepted that. So dear friends, I'm not just boasting about my own background and regarding my own motivations as such. I'm just, as a case study, I'm putting some facts which I think I should share with you. Because you may having number of questions in your mind regarding how it can be done. Number of slides I'm putting in front of you. Number of ambitious kinds of ideas I'm just sharing with you. So you might think that how is it possible? Workload, it is there. number of responsibilities are there. Family also has to be given time. My own hobbies also, they must be respected in this fast life. So how is it that I could be able to give justice to all these? But definitely, dear friends, as I said, in case you pay full attention to your job, you are having a complete clarity regarding what I am, who am I, what I'm expected to do, what I'm capable of doing. Whenever you're putting some kind of targets in front of you, definitely, automatically, because I never applied for any post. I applied only for the sake of being a teacher in the campus. But thereafter, whatever opportunities I could get, uh, I never requested anyone of having that. Even whenever I was, when Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Mahanavar and the management council members unanimously they suggested my name for being a pro vice chancellor. I was never in the race. I never applied. I never requested anyone to give me that kind of chance. But anyhow, the manner in which we work, people they observe us. They think that maybe I never that was on never I applied for the post of vice chancellor because it was not on my just bucket list. I could I should say. But anyhow, whenever in the MC meeting, my name was proposed and all others, they accepted that. Then at that time also, I never said no because I, I thought that it's an opportunity so as to give justice for different aspects of education. Why I should restrict myself only with my own class? Why I should restrict myself as a teacher only with reference to whatever subjects I am dealing with, whatever courses I'm interacting with the students? So whenever I'm getting the opportunity to do something beyond the four walls of my own school, School of Commerce and Management Sciences, whenever beyond Nantir campus, I'm required to meet several teachers, several students, several parents, several maybe principals, maybe management council members from different affiliated colleges. Whenever I'm having an opportunity of interacting with different uh, common as well as renowned persons from the society, why I should miss that opportunity for enriching a teacher in me? Definitely, I should never say no for any practice, for showing some kind of uh, teaching kind of model, learning kind of model, for giving some kind of exposure with the practice. I should never say no. Same case was with whenever I was told about honoring the responsibility of being a president of ICC, Internal Complaints Committee, against sexual harassment of women at workplace. Again, I look at the designation and look at the that honor only uh, in a way that would be I would be thinking about some new aspects of women's safety, new aspects of gender perspective of education. And thereafter, I would be developed into a better, more sensitive kind of teacher and individual. And with that kind of opportunity, same case was when I was interacting with International Student Center. Now, again, once again, dear friend, dear teacher friends, I wish to tell you, I'm not talking about whatever my biodata is and whatever, but I'm telling that whenever we are talking about interdisciplinary approach, we are talking about multidisciplinary kind of approach. Whenever we are talking about holistic education, unless and until as a teacher you are having the exposure of different experiences, working at different levels and different capacities in different states, in different colleges, definitely never you can be able to give justice for shaping the personality of the students. So I never said no whenever any opportunity came to me. Whenever I was given the task of being a core committee member of International Student Center, again, I look at the opportunity at the same level. That let us have an interaction regarding whatever just Indian students, whatever students from Maharashtra, whenever students from rural India, whenever students from urban place, they are coming. what are their needs, what are their requirements, what kind of personality pattern they are having, and how I'm just being able to give justice for the sake of fulfilling their requirements as a teacher, for shaping their personality, for enriching their, trying to enrich their skills, their motivations, for making them learn how to see dreams, how to see to it that dreams they would be fulfilled. Now, if from these different perspectives, I look at those opportunities. And definitely, I'm very much happy that when uh, I'm looking back, then definitely I think that whatever pleasure I'm having at this moment of being a teacher, definitely credit it has to be given for whatever experiences I met with, whatever opportunities, whatever responsibilities I was given, and the kind of learning I had. Only on that basis, I was able to understand the diversity among the students. Only with that, I was able to appreciate what kind of priorities and requirements of the students are. And definitely, I was just able to contribute my squirrel share in the development of the students, in the development of the region, in the development of the economy, in the development of the nation as such. So this is how we should look at this holistic and multidisciplinary kind of dimension of the education system. So there has to be an emphasis on conceptual understanding, sharing of knowledge, as I said. At the same time, whenever we are trying to imbibe some kind of skills, whenever we are trying to broaden the vision, whenever we are trying to train the mindset, so we should see that creativity, critical thinking, ethics, human values, constitutional values, life skills, again, we should touch on all these dimensions. Whatever subjects we are given, whenever at our own level we are trying to develop some teaching methodologies, we are trying to have some kind of interaction with the students so as to make them aware about all the dimensions of human lives, about all the aspects of the society. Definitely with that, there is an importance of experiential learning methods, whichever, depending upon the subject. Whenever I deal with mathematics, the approach is different. Whenever I deal with computers, definitely the learning methods and teaching learning methods, they are different. Whenever I'm dealing with commerce and management, definitely with that, there is a specific kind of need to have an interaction with some specific personalities, with some specific kind of organizations, and with some specific kind of setup. So, promotion of multilingualism, IKS, Indian knowledge system, as well as value education, that is a part of the game, that is a part of the process, and teacher is at the heart of the learning process. Since teacher is at the heart of the learning process, success of NEP 2020, definitely it would depend only on the wholehearted support, commitment on teachers, whatever they, because execution is only in our hands. And with that, I'm just giving you several different perspectives and several different examples, which appeal to me mostly in my own life, in my own career. And definitely with that, let us see that it is indicated that a light but tight oversight and regulatory system to ensure integrity and transparency at one level, while encouraging innovative and creative ideas through autonomy, good governance, and empowerment. So all these different dimensions, they are attached with each other. So regular formative assessment for learning, that is again a part of the task of the teacher. It is only, it's also a part of education. Along with that, what is important is outstanding research. As I said, different dimensions of education, they indicate teaching, research, interaction with industry, and extension. I do remember whenever I entered the University Gnantir campus of Swami Ramanatith University, I read a quotation in the Shoaibullah Hall. It was written there that destiny of India that is being shaped in our classrooms. I was so thrilled. I was so amazed of learning that definitely sitting in my close own classroom, being in my own campus, definitely I can contribute for the national development. So that was really a very thrilling kind of moment for me. And then I realized what kind of responsibility I'm having as a teacher. And with that, I tried to give justice for all the perspectives of education, as I said. It's not only enough that you teach, it's not only enough that you research. At the same time, what is important is whatever interaction you are having with different stakeholders, not only with the industry, the other aspects of the society also, the other prominent stakeholders of the society also, you must interact as a teacher with them for assessing whether you are in the right direction or not, for assessing whether whatever work you are performing, whatever your own toolkit you have established, whether it is enough, sufficient, and adequate or not. So every moment, at every opportunity, it has to be examined, and then only you can be assured that I'm in the right direction and I'm giving my 100% to my task as a teacher. And for that purpose, again, there are different kind of features being given. It is up to you regarding each kind of line, what kind of suggestions and what kind of hints it is giving to you, and how you are taking that opportunity so as to make the education as truly holistic as well as truly multidisciplinary. Continuous policy making. You should be a part of the policy making kind of process. Now, again, I would like to cite my own example. Please don't misperceive. I'm not just boasting about my achievements and all that. It's only for the sake of developing some kind of case examples. I'm indicating that. Now, again, um, I was having an interaction since I was just dealing with a subject like entrepreneurship development. So definitely I thought that I should have some interaction with some organizations who are working for entrepreneurizing our society. And with that, I interacted with DIC, I interacted with MCED, Maharashtra Center for Entrepreneurship Development. Uh, then again, several such kinds of other institutions also I interacted. Then again, for just trying to understand whether I'm really uh, uh, as a teacher, whether I'm having own justice for the sake of all aspects of my personality, then I thought that uh, whatever exposure I'm having with art of living, whatever exposure I'm having as a member of Lions Club, as a president of Lions Club, whatever just sensitivity I'm having towards social work, what kind of uh, different aspects of the society a student has to learn. So definitely it helped me a lot. Whenever I was working with Bharatiya education, Bharatiya Stri Shakti, whenever I was working with Bharatiya education system, then again I did the same. Trying to appreciate whatever I'm learning, I tried to indicate that dimension. I used to share that exposure with my students for making them aware. When I was associated with MCED, then I got an opportunity for being a committee member of the draft committee for this entrepreneurship development draft policy. So that was also a wonderful experience for me. And with that, definitely, I involved my students also in that experience. I used to have a talk with them from time to time. I used to share with them whatever work I'm performing, whatever experience I'm seeking, whatever learning I'm making. So this is how we must try our best so as to put some kind of set examples, model examples as a role model. Students definitely they require some kind of inspiration, some kind of motivation, and only with that, these all-round aspects of the personality, student they would be having some realization about that. So at that moment also they would be making some kind of learning, or maybe in case it is imbibed in their minds, definitely at some point in their life, definitely they would be touching some parts of that. So continuous policy making from that aspect. Whenever as a BOS member, I'm working in my own university, whenever I'm working maybe in some other universities within state and out of the states, definitely that kind of experience, it gets reflected out of communication of a teacher. And with that, it learner benefits a lot. Use of modern technology, foreign universities to set up campuses in India. That is again a very wonderful kind of initiative of NEP 2020. some universities, top universities from other countries, they are allowed to set their campuses in our country. And at the same time, we are just required to set our own campus in the other countries also. So that kind of opportunity also we should look with reference to this NEP 2020. Use of modern technology. Nowadays, it has become a must. At some point in time, face-to-face interaction, it was the only opportunity available for teaching learning. But now with COVID, it was a blessing in disguise, we can say, with reference to these online modes of communication, that we have learned a lot. We know now how to make just how to use this online technology for the sake of our growth, for the sake of our development, for the sake of our progress. So this is how National Educational Technological Forum, it has been established. Tech-based option, they are available for adult learning, and different kinds of e-courses, they are available in e-education's kind of system. So this is how NEP 2020 envisages holistic education as the way to lead the country to 21st century, with an aim to have both individual and national development. It is a philosophy based on the premise that each learner finds identity. Remember, each term of this holistic education aspect, that is important. Each learner finds identity, meaning, and purpose in life. Now, this is the ultimate goal of education. Make them realize how, as a part of the society, as a citizen of our country, how we can contribute for the development progress of our own country. So this is what they are expected to understand. Who am I? Koham. So that kind of answer they have to sort. They have to seek answer to such kind of question out of this teaching learning kind of process. How? Through their local connections with community, with natural world, and to humanitarian values such as compassion, peace, freedom, gender perspective, number of different kinds of aspects they are being involved with holistic education. Dear friends, we understand in ancient India, gurus, acharyas, they were believed in developing individuals' body, mind, intellect, and soul. It's beautiful to appreciate our ancient gurus, how they consider themselves as being a part of uh, development of body, mind, intellect, and soul also. We have set the example, tradition of holistic education through great institutions like Nalanda, Kalabhi, Vikramshila, Takshashila, and like that. Banabhatta's Kadambari describe good education as the knowledge of 64 arts, kalas, which included arts, science, vocational, professional, and soft skills. So it was imbibed in our culture. It was a part of the education system. Later on, it was removed from our education system. So let us bring it back. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that is the world as a global village, creation of Vishwamanav, global citizen, but rooted in Indian culture, with capacity of rational thought, compassion, empathy, courage, resilience, tolerance, creative imagination, with sound ethical character and morals. So it was there as a part of our Indian ancient culture. So let us bring it back once again with the help of NEP 2020. So the student, they should acquire life skills necessary for lifelong development. Development of capacities that promote student wellness, such as fitness, good health, psychosocial well-being, sound ethical grounding. These are the various aspects of holistic education. There are different aspects of the personality. Intelligence quotient, at one point in time, it was considered to be the basis of success. Nowadays, we appreciated emotional intelligence also. Along with that, physical quotient, social quotient, spiritual quotient. So these are the different views which we must imbibe in our day-to-day kind of interaction with the students. That would indicate the holistic education as such. So holistic education It looks after both livelihood and the life. Livelihood is only part of life. It is not whole of it. So we are seeking education not only for the sake of getting a job. Equally important is entrepreneurship. Equally important is understanding regarding who am I? How do I relate myself to the society? What is my role? So, and identifying that, that is more important. Acquisition of life skills which are necessary for the lifelong development. Basically, again, this is the other mean of holistic education. Let us know about few aspects of multidisciplinary education. Under multidisciplinary education, as we appreciate, there is a focus on skill education and employability. Flexible curricular structure. We are having that kind of flexibility. We can seek in a particular kind of number of credits they are supposed to be sought. But anyhow, there is a freedom that from any accredited institution, you can seek the required credit which are required for finishing a program uh, in your institute. Other institutions, again, you can have an easy interaction. That kind of facility that is being made available out of this NEP 2020. There is a provision of ABC, Academic Bank of Credits. In case you are having leisure this year, next year you are going to be very much busy. So whatever number of credits which are required for next year, you can seek in advance, and you can keep that you can keep those credits in your academic bank, in your digital repository, and accordingly you can utilize that next year, so that there would be no disruption, there would be no interference in the education. Lifelong learning, very truly it is appreciated, and with that there are multiple entry and multiple exits. We know the degree program that is for 3 years or for 4 years. 3 years you can get honors, 4 years you can get honors degree with research degree also. And in case you had done 4 years undergrad program, definitely with that only 1 year PG, 1 year would be required for seeking post graduation. In case you are completing first year of your graduation, and you are not able to go for second year, today nothing is in your hands, but as per NEP 2020 you will be getting a certificate after completion of a year. After second year you will be getting diploma kind of certificate. Third year, you will be getting a degree certificate. That means every year you will be having some document, some achievement in your hand, and with that you can get connected with the formal education as per your requirement and as per your need later on also. So that kind of flexibility now that is given importance, and with that the concept of life learning that is very truly inculcated in our multidisciplinary education system. Various exit options they are given, and again you are very much free to complete few programs from other institutions also. Few credits you can earn from the other institutions through online or maybe through offline mode. The multidisciplinary kind of institutions, that is now at this moment we are having affiliating system, and with affiliating there is no, in due course of time this affiliating system it would be coming to an end. Some universities they can choose to be only teaching universities, or otherwise they can have their own options of only with dealing with research intensive universities, or otherwise in case you are interested in both you can choose that option also. So there would be no concept of affiliated colleges there. After a few years in phases, all the dimensions and all the aspects of NEP 2020, they would be implemented. So at some point in time, you will find that institutions, all the institutions, they are going to be multidisciplinary. At this moment, we are having so many exclusively arts colleges. We are having exclusively arts and commerce colleges. But after just a few years, you'll find that only every educational institution would be multidisciplinary, because that only would be giving the true spirit of education that would be giving justice only for the true learning, for developing a holistic personality of the learner. So, holistic and multidisciplinary education, it is composed of formal education. It is having an equally important component known as environmental education, and equal justice and equal focus is has to be received by value-based education also. So when we talk about holistic and multidisciplinary education, along with formal education, which we are having previous to NEP 2020, definitely that is going to be continued. But along with that, improved focus that would be observed with environment education and value-based education. Holistic and multidisciplinary education, it should strive in an integrated way so as to improve human capacities. As just now I talked about the concept of multiple intelligence by Gardner. So mental, cultural, social, physical, emotional, and moral aspects of the capacities of the individuals definitely in a comprehensive manner, they would be touched by this education. They are required to be touched. So absorbing knowledge of several arts known as generous arts or liberal arts in the course. Again, that is a beautiful kind of feature of this new education policy. Absorbing knowledge of several arts, and along with that, developing optimal learning environment and support for students so as to offer a holistic approach, including adequate curriculum, interactive pedagogy, consistent formation, formative assessment, and adequate support for the students. That is again being involved out of this holistic as well as multidisciplinary kind of education. Emphasis on theoretical learning through pedagogies like that highlight on communication, discussion, debate, research, cross-disciplinary and interdisciplinary thinking. That is again a very essential kind of remarkable kind of feature of NEP 2020. Education content focusing on key concepts, ideas, applications, and problem-solving angles. So come what may, I'm ready to face the situation. That kind of confidence, it has to be imbibed among the students. So that kind of requirement is there. So as just now I said, intellectual development, social development, physical development, moral development, psychological development, and spiritual development. Again, whenever we are touching all these aspects, then only it would be called as holistic and multidisciplinary kind of education. I think so adequately, I expressed my own ideas regarding holistic and multidisciplinary education. And as per the requirement, I should give justice for the sake of your say also. So please feel free to have your say also regarding this topic. So please express yourself regarding these different aspects of holistic and multidisciplinary education. Anything to be contributed or anything to be added or anything to be questioned or challenged? Now the session is open for free discussion. Shall I conclude the session? Which areas to be focused? Some question I would like to answer. Just a moment. I would go in for chat. Well, Chitra ma'am, well, very correctly just got it. Students would be getting the certificate, diploma, degree when they discontinue. Even if they continue and they require, they could get it. Then one question is there regarding engineering. Let me read it. Dr. Kokati is talking about which areas need to be focused to have an holistic development in engineering education. Sir, Kokati sir, irrespective of the, uh, just a moment, एक 5 minute. Irrespective of the discipline, I focused on the ideas. Concepts, they are to be shared with them. Application, they are required to be focused with them. Creativity, creative thinking, lateral thinking, positive thinking, it has to be imbibed. So in this manner, discipline doesn't matter. Whatever discipline you are touching within that, in this manner, you are required to give justice for the all-round development of the students. Discipline doesn't matter. When engineering, you are dealing with technically, you are just making them perfect. Knowledge sharing is there. Laboratory exposure, you should give them. Industry, corporate exposure, definitely they are expecting. At the same time, soft skills also they need to be developed. Some exposure regarding the industrial training, in plant training also it has to be given. So all aspects, communication skills also they should be given importance. Value education, that is a must. As I said, formal education, value education, and environmental education. That is the requirement. Whatever discipline we are talking about, discipline specific, I never indicated. Whatever ideas I express with in front of you, they belong to different aspects of the different disciplines. Equally, they are applicable. Engineering exposure would be required for different types of organizations and different categories of the individuals. For botanist, again, different exposure and different experiences they would be required. But exposure and experience that is expected in all the disciplines. It would vary only on the basis of discipline at the implementation kind of phase. Is it clear? Am I clear? Okay. Thank you, Kokate sir, Saha sir. Shall I take your leave?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.